Hi friends, welcome back to another video on scenario-based interview questions. Before we get into it, I would like to bring to your notice that the interview questions for Tableau are provided here on our 360 TMG website. I shall pin this link in the comment section so you can access it from there. We have 60 plus interview questions along with answers, so you could refer to this. Now, for practical scenario-based interview questions, we are covering it through the channel. Here, we already covered two of them. If you have not yet watched them, please do watch them. Very interesting use cases have been covered. And here is the third one in the series, where we will talk about ATTR function. This is a very commonly, frequently asked question. Explain the purpose of ATTR, which means attribute, which is an aggregate function in Tableau. What is its purpose? How does it help us? Okay, so when you get questions like that, it would be very nice if you can explain its purpose with scenarios. Then it would be much easier for people to understand what you're telling, and they will also get an impression that you have practical exposure, you have practical understanding of the working of the tool. Okay. Now, first of all, let's talk about what is an aggregate function. All measures in Tableau by default are aggregated based on some aggregation property, like taking the summation of the data in the field, computing the average of the data in the field, figuring out the median, count distinct, min, max, so on and so forth. Just like measures have aggregations, even dimensions can be aggregated. For instance, here is customer name. Let's say I'm not interested in the list of customers. I want to know how many customers are there. Then I'll have to make it a measure and aggregate it. So these are the four aggregations which can be used with the dimension. If I select minimum, alphabetically it will show me the minimum name. If I select maximum, alphabetically the maximum. If I go with count, it will count each and every occurrence in the customer name column. Okay, each and every name in the customer name column like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's basically counting each and every occurrence. But we are not interested in that, right? We are interested in how many unique, distinct customers we have. In that case, we must go with count distinct. So what will count distinct do is it will count the unique customers that are present. Okay, I will make this discrete, then you can see the number. And let me go here. So what will it do? It will take 1. This is 2. This customer is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, so on. So only the unique occurrences will be taken into account. So we know that in total we have around 800 customers. So these are the aggregations, generally the aggregations that are used on measures and the aggregations used on dimensions. Apart from this, there is one other aggregation which is called ATTR. If you check under the list of aggregate functions, it is the first one you will find. It returns the value of the given expression if the value is unique. Otherwise, it will give a star. Now, what does this mean and how does a star help us? Okay. So we will try to understand it with one scenario. We need to identify the customers who are shopping across multiple states, basically interstate customers. Like I created a small data set for this. Let me show you the data. Here we have certain customers who are operating across multiple states, and some of them are, making transactions only in one state. So maybe they live there and they make transactions over there. But there are a few customers like Claire who are operating across multiple states. So they're making transactions from across multiple states. Okay, and we need to identify those customers who are operating across multiple states and provide their names to the management so that they can take maybe additional care of these people because they are some sort of privileged customers. They are giving us business not in just one state but across multiple states. We might want to give them personalized coupons, discounts, etc. So what to do? How to do it? I'm going to show the list of customers and I'm going to show the states where they are operating. Okay, so we can see some of them are there in multiple states. So we can see multiple values, more than one. Now, if I make this an attribute, it will replace the multiple values with a star. So we know that Andrew is operating across multiple states. We know that Sean is operating across multiple states. Claire is operating across multiple states. Now, we are not interested in providing the names of the other people here. We just need those customers where there is a star. So what to do? One way of doing it is you can move in this attribute state into the filters shelf and choose attribute as the aggregation. Okay, on the other, and once I click on next, because this is being filtered with state as an attribute, apart from showing me the list of members in there, it will show a star also. So I need only star. I'm going to select it and click on OK. These are the 3 people. Now, how do we see what are the states where they are making transactions? Okay, I can see that these are the 3 customers who are operating across multiple states, but how do I know what are those states? For that, we need to create a separate graph. Here I have another chart where I will show the names of the customers and the states where they are operating. Okay, let me show the names of the customers and states that they are operating. Now let's go back to this chart. We shall insert this chart into the tooltip of this graph over here. So when I hover the mouse pointer here, you can see the name of the customer. But along with that, I want to see the list of states where they are operating. Okay. So I will just click on the tooltip shelf and keep customer name there. Followed by that, I'm going to insert the customer state info graph. So we can also insert charts into the tooltip of another chart. Now look at that. It's showing the name of the customer and it's showing the list of states where the customer belongs. Okay. You might want to remove ABC. If you want to get rid of ABC, you could create a calculated field space with just one space in it and you move that into the text shelf. So we are simply covering up ABC with a space. Okay. And you can simply reduce the width a little bit if necessary. So here. This is one application. Now let's look at another way in which we can use attribute function. Now my requirement is I need to set up some sales targets for the states from various regions and the target should depend on the region. Okay. And we have to indicate whether a state has achieved the target or whether it has missed the target. Now, how do we do this? See, there are different regions and in each region, there are multiple states. The business is making some sort of sales in each state. Now I will focus only on a couple of regions, let's say Central and South. All right, I don't want others. Now, if I have to just define a normal target to these states, for instance, all those states making a profit of greater than 40,000, okay, should come in green color. The bar for that state should come in green color. And whichever states are making a profit of less than 40,000, let's say we'll indicate with a different colored bar. How to do this? We will have to write a logical expression. Okay, whether it is above or below target, I'll have to write a logical expression. So if the sum of sales is greater than 40,000, then it is above target, else it is below target and end. It's a very simple logical statement. Okay, so wherever the sales is greater than 40,000, it will be marked as above target. And because I'm taking it into the color shelf, it would come with a different color. And wherever the sales is less than 40,000, you see this is the 40,000 mark. So below that, they are all coming in a different color. Now you could even double click in the color legend and change the colors. Let's say above target, I wanted green. Below target, I want in red. My job is done. Now here we are going to make it slightly more complex. these targets should change depending on the region to which the state belongs. Okay, for instance, suppose the state is operating, belongs to central region, the target to be given is 60,000. And for sales in the south region, the target should be, let's say, 40K. Okay, so for those states which belong to the central region, the target given to them is 60K. And for those states where the which belong to south, the target is smaller, it is just 40K. So targets are changing depending on the region. Now what to do, how to handle this? I'm going to edit and I will rewrite this formula. I will say if region is equal to central and the sum of sales is greater than 60,000, then it is above target. Else if otherwise, check, is the region equal to south? If so, and the sum of sales greater than 40,000, then also it is above target, because the target for south region is 40,000. If it's above 40,000, it's above target. Else, then we will say it is below target and end. I'm handling it only for two regions here. You could, of course, put it for east and west also. Now, this is throwing an error. The formula seems perfect, but it's throwing an error. What's the error here? Down here. Cannot mix aggregate and non-aggregate arguments with this function. So that's the problem. When you use one function which is not aggregated, like region, and one field which is aggregated, sales, it's not allowing us to do so. But that is exactly what we need. We need to go to each region, and in that we have to, check the sales performance of the state, the total sales. So what to do? How to overcome this particular problem? We will simply wrap region in the ATTR function. Why? Because ATTR is an aggregate. Like sum is an aggregate for sales, ATTR is an aggregate that we use with the dimensions. So ATTR of region. ATTR of region. So what am I doing? I am simply aggregating region by using ATTR, which is the aggregate function. Nothing else will work here. We can't go with min or max or count or distinct count. So we are using ATTR. Now there is no error in the formula. It's perfectly fine. And now you can see how these have changed, the colors, right? Because we updated the formula, the colors have changed. So central region, the target given was 60,000. Only when the sales is above 60,000, they are in green. Below 60,000, it means the state has not met the target and it is in red. Whereas in south, the target was 40K, isn't it? So you can see even if it is 49,000, not 60, right? 49 and 55. These are all above target. And below 40,000, they are below the target, coming in red. So for each region, we have defined a different color. I mean, we have defined a different condition based on which we are giving the colors. Okay, this is a very, very interesting and useful scenario. Now I'll show you one more. Look at this. Here, let me directly show you the formula. We are segregating the markets into two types. Africa and Latin American market are emerging markets where the business is new and it's still, just emerging. So when countries belong to an emerging market, we would like to give them a smaller target, and we are passing the target through a parameter called as emerging threshold. Here's my parameter. Okay, so this is also dynamic. People can change the target from time to time using this parameter. Then, in well-established markets, where the business is active for quite some time, they have a good foothold, they're doing really well, we would want to give a slightly higher target, and that target is being passed through a parameter called as threshold here. Okay, so for each market, a different target is given and the sales is checked or verified against or compared to a different target, based on which we will mark it as either well-performing or underperforming. Okay, so as I change this, now focus on Africa and Latin American market here, because they will change with the emerging threshold. As I keep increasing the threshold, most of the countries are not able to meet such a high target, except for Brazil here and a few handful countries. When the target is low, most of them manage to reach it. Okay. And when I change the threshold here, you will notice how US, Canada, European market, and Asia Pacific market are getting impacted because their performance is being compared against the threshold. Okay, so I will pin the link to this workbook in the comment section. Please do download it from the Tableau public profile and explore it. Okay, it's a very, very interesting use case. So that is about attribute functions and how we can make use of them. One is to identify members associated with multiple values, like identify a customer associated with multiple states. Another is when you have to aggregate a dimension because you're using both dimensions and measures in a formula. Okay. What else can we see here? Just a moment. I'm creating a chart with the list of subcategories and their sales information, or let's say and their profit information. Now I would like to know what are the various regions where these subcategories are being sold, okay, across different regions. So I will bring region to the tooltip shelf. Whenever you take this, any dimension, like for example, region to the tooltip shelf, it will automatically come as an ATTR. Now, why did this come as an ATTR of region? Tableau is doing this automatically. All I did is I brought region in there. Okay, it is giving me ATTR automatically. Let me bring in category also. ATTR of category. Okay, why is this happening? Let's hover here. Look at that. It's a tooltip is something that gives you the information about that particular member. It's showing me that the name of the subcategory is accessories and whatever is the profit. And when it comes to category, it is able to give me the name. Why? Because each of these categories belong only to, each of these subcategories belong only to one category in a unique way. Accessories is something that belongs to technology only. Bookcases is something that belongs to furniture only. It is associated with only one category. It is unique. Therefore, we are able to see the name of the category. But when we look at region, it is giving us a star. That means each of these subcategories are associated with multiple regions. They are being sold across multiple regions. Okay, that is what star indicates. Now, instead of a star, how can we show the names of the regions? Try to pause the video here and try it by yourself, because we discussed it in the first example, how to show the name of the regions. Okay, I'll show it now. I'll have to create another chart called regional profit, where I will show the list of regions and the profit from those regions, even turn on the mark labels. Now let me go back to this and I will have to edit the tooltip. So region is coming as a star, but we need to see what are those regions, isn't it? So I will remove this because it is a star. And instead, towards the end of this graph, I will insert the sheet containing regional profit, which means now on the tooltip, I will be able to see the complete list of regions and the profit made by that subcategory in each region. That is the beauty of ATTR function. And if you have to show the data, this is the method to show the data. Okay, so when you face such a question in the interview, it might be a one-liner question where the client would ask you, what is the purpose of ATTR? Why is it under the list of aggregate functions? What does it do? If you explain it to them in such a detailed way using scenarios, they will get the confidence that you have practical exposure to the tool and they will be really impressed. Okay, So thank you, friends. I hope you understood everything. If there are any doubts, let me know in the comment section. And if you have any other queries, you can contact me. And if you're planning to enroll for the complete training on Tableau, end-to-end training with access to real-time projects and a lot of such practical scenarios, you could check out our course at 360 Digit MG. And you can contact our career counselors and you can get information about the course and enroll for it. I'll be there to guide you every step of your way. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Bye-bye.